Welcome to IT Handy Guide tutorial. My name is Kevin. In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss how to configure PhpMyAdmin. Okay. So firstly, this is our PHP configuration file. Okay, if you install PHP directly, and this is the location of your PHP configuration file. However, because we install PHP file the same, then we need to go to the 1.2. This is 1.1. So let me go to the 1.2. 1.1 is for the person who just want to compare what is the difference between install PHP file SAMP or directly. So you can compare by yourself. All right. If you install PHP file SAMP, then this one is your PHP configuration file. So let me go to this place. That is C drive. In the C drive, you go to SAMP and PHP. There's a PhpInI, which is over here. You open that. Okay, so this is our PHP configuration file. In a PHP configuration file, in order to connect to MySQL database and in order to install PhpMyAdmin, you have to enable the following related extension. So these are extensions. You just search MySQL, and this is the extension. Okay, you have to enable. If you install PHP file SAMP, most of the extension have been enabled, except the following extension. So basically, if you install PHP file SAMP, you need to enable GD and enable OpenSSL. Okay, rest of the stuff rest of the extension they actually already been enabled. All right. In the previous video, I actually introduced each component, but let me introduce again. The extension BZ2, which is this one, okay, this one, means using open source compression software BZ2. BZ2 is just like 7-zip or WinRAR. It's typically used on Unix or Linux system. We enable this because we might use the Linux server. Okay, and extension CURL. Okay, CURL. This extension is necessary for PhpMyAdmin. It allows us to receive and send information file URL syntax. But it's receive and send information. You can think about receive and send message file URL syntax. It is kind of API concept, but we will not discuss API in here. Just to ensure you enable CURL. File info, which is this one. It is helpful to read file information like content type, etc. And GD, I think I don't remember GD stand for what, but GD I think that stands for graphic design or something. But GD extension is used for image recreation and manipulation. Extension gettext. This extension can look up message in the current domain. So basically, if you enable this one, you also have to enable this and this. Okay, but the GD, that is for the image recreation, so I always enable this as well. Okay, MB string. This extension, this extension is to read multi-byte characters such as Chinese characters. Multi-byte characters. Okay, normally English character just occupy 1 byte, and the Chinese character occupy 2 bytes. In this case, if you enable MB string, that means your website can use the Chinese characters. All right. So if you want to create a website with the Chinese character or multi-language, you should always enable MB string. This is the reason why SAMP enable MB string by default. Okay. And one more thing, when you enable MB string, you also have to enable EXIF. I don't know what is EXIF, but if you enable this, we also have to enable this. All right, and this one, and this one is for MySQL, and this is MySQL Lite, but this one and this one is for MySQL Server. Okay, and OpenSSL, this is for the encryption. Okay, that's pretty much everything. Okay, So we just revise each extension. So now if you change anything over here, what you should do is you should restart your Apache and MySQL. And there are two ways. You can open the SAMP control panel, or you can open the Service Manager. Oops. All right, let me open the Service Manager. Okay, in the Service Manager, if I right click, let me show you this. If I right click, restart, it actually will restart the Apache as well. Okay, I mean, you can see it restart Apache in the control panel as well. And if you go to MySQL, which is over here, restart, it actually restart MySQL service. All right, I get used to restart the service file, the Service Manager, because when I install everything individually, I don't have the control panel like this. So this is the reason I already get used to restart everything from Service Manager. And I suggest you to do the same things. Okay, install PhpMyAdmin. 1.1 is for the person who install PhpMyAdmin directly. So we need to go to 1.2. Okay, you can have a look for the 1.1, or in the next tutorial I can teach you how to do the 1.1, because next tutorial we are going to install everything individually, not file SAMP. Okay, so I should go to the 1.2. 1.2 is if you install PhpMyAdmin file SAMP, yeah, because when you install SAMP, you actually install PhpMyAdmin, which is over here. Okay, there are three files you have to think about it. The first one is the configuration file, which is this one, config.inc.php. This is PhpMyAdmin configuration file. And the second one is the PHP index, index.php. This is under PhpMyAdmin. This is your homepage of your index, your PhpMyAdmin. If you go to Chrome and type localhost, it will open and redirect you to the dashboard. But if you change this one to PhpMyAdmin, it will go to PhpMyAdmin index page. Okay, so it will open this index page, this one. It takes a while. Okay, the other file is called readme. Okay, in the readme, you right click that, you will be able to see your version, your PhpMyAdmin version. All right, so there are three files you should notice: this one, and this one. Okay, so this is our PhpMyAdmin index. You can type index.php if you like, it doesn't really matter. Okay, all right, so next one, I need to click new. When you click new, it will show you all the database over here. I go to the user account, and we have any, and we don't need this user, so I'm going to tick that one and remove the select user account. I press go. So I'm going to delete any user. All right, so after I delete any user, let me look at this again. Okay, we have a PMA user and doesn't have a password. Root user doesn't have a password, so I'm going to give the password for each one. Please ensure you don't you change this password in the end. Okay, so I'm going to change the three password first. The first three, I'm going to change the password for the first three user first. Okay, so I'm going to click PMA. After I click PMA, I click change password. So the password of PMA user is also PMA. So this is PMA password. So I press OK. All right, so I just change the PMA user, the password for PMA user to PMA as well. So this is so it will show me, hey, the PMA user have a password right now. So I'm going to change the other password for root, this one. Okay, why do we have 3 root user? This root user is for this IP address, and this root user is for this, I think this is port number or something. Okay, this root user is for local host. And why do we need the IP address like this? There's a reason. Let me show you. If you want to check your IP address, you can right click this one, open network internet setting, and you can go to the property. Over here, you will be able to see your IP address. In this case, that is 192.168.1.48. All right. And the other way, you open the CMD and type IPCONFIG. In this case, you will be able to see your IP address. All right. This IP address is for external user. Like if I copy this IP address, and this is my computer. Okay, this is my computer, not the virtual machine. This is my virtual machine, and this is my computer. Okay, so I'm going to type this one. So it will redirect me to a dashboard. If I type PhpMyAdmin, PhpMyAdmin. See, it didn't really allow me to go to PhpMyAdmin. Okay, I can still see the website. Okay, but I cannot go to the PhpMyAdmin. If you type this one over here, this is just for the security. You can still go to the PhpMyAdmin. See, because this is actually the local host, so you can change this one to local host. All right, like this. Anyway, I have a like mistyping. Okay, so that's the reason. If you want to have a like external user, you have an IP address like this. Okay, this is just for SAMP, but be honest with you, I normally just have this one. Okay, I normally just have this one. One root and one PMA. I don't have these 2 users. If I install everything individually, this is just a default user and set up by SAMP, and I don't like this setting. But anyway, I just going to change the password for these 2 users. All right. So the password for root is also root as well. So I'm going to click this one and change the password to RRT. Press go. So now if I go to here, it will say, hey, this one has a password. So click that one again. Change the password to RRT. Like this. Alright, so let me go to the user account. Okay, so this is the last one. After I change this password, it will return me an error message. So if you want to change the password for local host, you need to be very, very carefully. Okay, how to do that very carefully? Let me show you. So you click this one and then change the password, change to RRT. You press go. In this case, it will return you an error message. If you go to the user account, you won't be able to see this anymore. If you go to the home page, it will tell you this. If you go to the PhpMyAdmin, you won't be able to log in at all. Okay, there's a reason. You need to go to the PHP configuration file to change the password there as well. So you have to go to this one, SAMP PhpMyAdmin, open the config.inc.php. You have to open this file. And in this file, there are a few things you have to notice. Okay, we have a user for the root, so you have to give the password for root. And we have a user for PMA, so you have to give the user the password for PMA. So after you've done these 2, and you have to restart MySQL and restart Apache. Okay, in order to restart MySQL and Apache, there are 2 ways. You can stop like this, and you can start again. It takes a while to restart Apache, so you can just wait. But I personally don't like stop and start like this. Okay, and you can see there's a stop admin config log, this kind of stuff. But I personally prefer just to right click this service and say, okay, I want to restart. It still takes a while to stop the patch. So if you want to start, you can just type right click and say start. But I normally don't like to do that. I normally just right click and use restart straight away. So this is what I normally do. Let me show you. Right click, restart. That's it. Or MySQL, I can just go to here to right click, restart. That's it. So you don't have to click this button twice. That is so annoying. Alright. So I personally suggest you to use Service Manager without use the control panel. Okay. Alright. So here are some. So after I restart the service for MySQL and the Apache, if I come back to PhpMyAdmin again, now I can log in now. If I go to user account, yes, every single user have the password. The most important two user is the PMA user and this user. You can delete this too if you like, but I just leave it. Okay, the next one is the summary. Alright, so in the SAMP, I need to go to 1.2. 1.2. Alright, if you install PhpMyAdmin file SAMP, there are 3 files you have to notice. You need to go to C drive, SAMP PhpMyAdmin. This file is the PhpMyAdmin configuration file. This one is the index file. Index file is this one. See, this is the index file. And next one is README. README, you can see the version like this. So the version is 5.2.0. Alright, so these 3 files are very important. And next one is the configuration file. If you open the configuration file, there are a few things is important. First one is the root user, and then PMA user, and then this Blowfish secret. Blowfish secret, by default, it will give you the values called SAMP. But if you install PhpMyAdmin individually, and then you need to give 32 characters in order to pass the Blowfish secret. Otherwise, it will return an error. Okay, they use Blowfish secret to create some kind of encryption. So you need to type like whatever words over here. Okay, so this one, and this one is important. All right. So after you, so make sure your password over here is same as the password you have over here. Okay, make sure you have a password over here, same as the password over here. Make sure your password for PMA is same as the password for the PMA as well. Okay, so these 2 users are most important. That's all. All right, I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Have a good day.